Welcome, this is Viper278, and today I'm bringing you a tutorial on Courseplay 4.01, and the subject is going to be the grain transport. I'm going to show you how to set the course up, show you how it's run, and show you the different options you have there. Okay. As in the first tutorial in the overview, you access your Courseplay interface by the right click. This first icon on the bottom here to the left is your grain transport, and what this does is it takes your guy from the silo, your tipper, and he's going to bring it to a sell point. So in my case we'll do one for the flour mill. So what you want to do is you want to position your guy underneath your spout, your pipe, your fill pipe. Okay. And then you open up your course, and on the second icon, which is your driver controls, you want to start recording your course. And this is going to set the waypoints from the silo to the flour mill, or your destination, your tip point, and back around to the start point again. So you don't have to worry about any of these icons down here while you're recording. This is only when you set up to run the course. You have to set up to the type of course you want to run. So we'll just go ahead and click on Start Course Recording. Okay, you can close this so you can do the cameras better, and it puts your first waypoint there with the go sign. This is your starting point. So you just drive off, and you just make your way to the destination you want to go to. Now in Courseplay you don't want to go too fast around the corners, because sometimes the Courseplay will make the trailer whip around a little bit, and you want to make your turn smooth. If you jog back and forth with the wheel, the Courseplay kind of exaggerates that, and you'll go side to side. It'll still collect its course, but you want to go smooth with your turns. Now when recording the course, you don't actually have to stop at the tip point. It will find it automatically. So you just run through it. I tend to slow down a little bit, but it slows down by itself when it reaches a tip point. So, and you don't have to have nothing in your tipper for this to work. So, and if you're having multiple trucks or vehicles on the road, you probably want to stay to one side like you normally would to avoid traffic, especially if you have the traffic on. But when you're recording, it's best to have the traffic off, because the traffic will slow you up, and you'll be going like 6 miles an hour when you can go full speed. So when you come back to your silo, I'll pull in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop about 10 meters before the stop point, and you want to be straight on as possible for this, so that way there when it goes to the first point it's not at an angle, So a lot of times I'll just follow my own tracks right there, and we'll say this is okay. So now it's your settings here. This is to stop the recording, and your course is finished. No, you can't edit or none. Now if I made a mistake somewhere, I can go back. I'll hit the pause button, and now I can go back to anywhere that I want, and I can pick up one of these waypoints, say I want to be right here, and see how wide a turn I took. Now if I want to go to a different turn point, I'll just come underneath my waypoint here. Here's a trash can to delete the waypoints, and you'll see the stop sign coming back towards you. So, and then when you're ready to start again, make sure you hit your unpause. Now you're back to where you left off. Okay. So I come in like this, and I'm going to stop right about there. Okay. Now also, here's a wait point. I'll show you that in a little bit for another thing. And here's your crossroad. This is you want to join two routes together, like you have an intersection. You can click this for all your intersections, and then you can have another course on another road coming into this, and it will pick up this course and bring you back to the original course you set. So it's like having two routes and doing one course. If you want to go from point A to point B to point C, point D, and you need to go from point A to point C, you use this crossroad. And when you start from the AB, when A hits the C course, it'll pick up the C course, go around to D, come back to the A, and circle like that. Okay. This one is if you want to make a U-turn. So if I want to make this to go back the other way here, I click on that, and he'll automatically turn around. And here's for reversing. So if I had to back up into something, like say if this was I was backing up into the potato storage, you would have to actually tell the waypoints that you're backing up with this one here. So we're going to be finished with this one. So we're going to go ahead and save it. So here's your save the course. So I'm going to name this one Silo, and to Flour Mill. And you can hit your enter key, or you can hit when you move your mouse, the little disc will highlight, so you just click on that. Okay, and then here's your course manager, and you'll see at the very bottom, Silo to Flour Mill, and this is a folder. This will start your course, or this will enter the course. This one will append the course, which means it'll put it to the be like a second course added in. It'll finish this first course first, and then it'll go to the second course. And then the third one is the folder with the star in it. This actually moves this folder into another one. So this course I can put, and I made one here for tutorial, and I'll put that into that folder. Now with there, you don't have a ton of courses to roll through. You have each one separated into categories, and there's my Silo to Flour Mill. Okay. To clear a course, you just X out of that. Now at the bottom you see no course labeled or loaded. So we come back to here. We're going to load this course, so we go to our tutorial here. Silo to Flour Mill. Now our course is loaded. Okay. So now you work right to left. Driver settings, there's no driver settings to do for this one. Your main settings, Here's our stop point. There's our start point. And if you want to see all the different legs, you can see right there. So you can turn that on and off to show waypoints. You can turn on and off. Okay, so actually we'll leave that on for this demonstration. Warning lights, the beacon lights will come on when he's on the street. You can have them not come on. I always leave them to the default settings. And you can have them, the hazards and the beacons, or just the beacon light on always. So whether he's in a field or on the street, you'll have the beacon lights on. I just leave the regular beacon lights on, that's it. Waiting time. If you have a pause point, which I'll show you after this one, and you want it to take off after a certain amount of time, you add 10 seconds, whatever time you need to wait there, and then it'll automatically go. If it's set to 0, when he gets to that point, he will not take off he will wait for your command before he moves on. So just remember that when you're doing your settings, that your waiting time, this could be at a tip point, or it could be at a conveyor belt, stuff like that. Map icons display text. That's right here, this little icon right here. You're the green circle with the black arrow, and the arrow points to, or cone actually points your direction. The dark circle in the center, the green circle, is your actual position, and it's pretty accurate on your little mini map as to where you are. So it has you right here, and what the map icon display text is when it's running, you'll have your vehicle name right there with it. So a lot of times it might get a little too much writing on your map when you're trying to look at it. Oops, didn't want to do that. And you just want to keep the text off. Okay. So I leave that as defaults. The speeds I leave at default. Here's your turning speed. A few turns at 6 miles an hour. This is on the field. Your field speed's 14, which we're not on the field, so we have to go over with that. Street speed. He'll go as maximum of what you recorded. So whatever how fast you go when you recorded, he'll go that much up until 31 miles an hour. Mine's set for miles per hour, so he'll go 30. Now you can change that by changing the speed down here. You click on the speed. Now you can change street speed. You can make it faster or slower. But I find that you want to go no more than 31 with the tippers, especially if you're pulling 2 behind you. Also, if you're pulling 2 and then as you're watching your course, if he gets too squiggly, you might slow it down to 25. So we'll see that as we go. And then we just change that back to recording. And then if I was to change that to, say, 25. Okay. This is the maximum speed he'll go. So I click that back to recording. So now he'll go, according to my recording, up to 25 miles an hour. Okay, so I'll just switch that back. And backing up, I don't have to reverse, so I don't have to worry about that. But I usually leave that default unused too. Okay. The combine self-unload is not a combine, so we don't have to worry about that. Our settings, we're not unloading combines, so we don't need that. Here's our course manager where we touched on that. And now we're ready to drive a course. So when you come to driver's control, you have your drive course now. And then you have a selection, start your course at nearest point. So if you're in the middle of a field or middle of your course somewhere and you want to just pick up at one of these other points, we'll say if I'm over here and if I do go to first, if I go to like say if I pick first waypoint, Well, it's going to beeline right to this mark right here. Well, the silo's in the way, so it's just going to crash into it. So you want to go to nearest waypoint, and no matter where he's at, if he is back here, say there's your course, and say you're coming up this way here. Okay, I can start the course. I click on nearest waypoint, and he's going to drive off, and he's going to pick up the course, and now he's going to follow the course. Okay, so he's going to turn, and he's going to stop right there. Okay, now if I was back over where I was, and I'm over here somewhere, and if I click start at first waypoint, you can tell he's making a beeline right to that first waypoint, which there's a big silo in the way, and he's going to get jammed up. So if you're not on your course, if you're not at your close to your first waypoint with no obstructions, then you select nearest waypoint. Or you can do current waypoint if you're on your line, but you want to be either nearest or first. I never use current waypoint. I never had a really reason to do it, even if you're off course, but I always go nearest waypoint. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come here. Now, also with the grain transport, you'll see down here it says farm silo load. So here you can choose whichever grain you want. So whatever you have on your map of grains, fill types, you'll have a selection here. So let's say I want to do wheat, and this only works for the normal default silo loading with the R key. If you have a map that has a specific key, like my Pleasant Valley 15 map has a different key to start the silo, it does not work on that. Courseplay only recognizes the R key, the default silo starting key, so you're gonna have to manually load the trailer yourself. So we're gonna load from silo. Now once he gets full, he's gonna take off and unload, come back, and he'll keep doing that until the silo is empty, he'll keep doing that until the silo is empty. So if you have a large load in there, you have a great demand, say, you can set this guy and he'll keep delivering until he runs out of product. So we're all set there. We got all our controls set, all our selections taken care of. Now we're going to do drive to first point, and we're going to tell him go ahead and start your course. Okay, let's see our speed right here, and we'll change that to okay. So you can see he's filling up. So we'll change this to 25. And he's got his beacon lights on. And he covers the trailer if it has a cover. So you can see he follows pretty dead center of the course use at the waypoint line. And you see at 25 he runs a little smoother. Till he gets there. Like I said, if you move your steering side to side a little bit, he kind of exaggerates a little bit. And he's going to pull around to the tip point, and you'll see at the bottom of your screen you'll see a little message come up saying approaching tip point, and it'll uncover and he'll dump your grain. And he'll rinse and repeat. And now he covers, and he'll go back to the fill pipe again. And he'll stop and pick up the weed again. And he'll keep doing that until he fills up, or the silo fills up. So. So I'm going to set him up for the run. So park him right here. You select drive course at nearest waypoint. And he'll stop at the pipe and start filling up with wheat. When he's full, this one holds 21,000. He'll take off, he'll put his cover on his trailer if he has one. And he'll go down to the flour mill, or whatever tip point you designate. And he will unload oversteering the tractor when you do in the corners. Courseplay kind of exaggerates that a bit, so be careful, especially if you got obstacles nearby, because he does go outside the line a little bit around turns, as you see right there, and he could get hung up on a pole or rock or something. So slow down on your turns. You can also slow down on the max speed, which for this type of tipper I usually do 25, because it does have that extra wheels in the front there. So he recognizes the tip point, and he will unload his wheat. And he will come back. To the silo and pick up another load until you stop him, or until the pipe finishes, the silo finishes the product that has in it. And he comes around, you'll see he comes to the stop sign here. And he'll just continue to this first point again, underneath the silo, and you'll see him start to refill again. There you go. And once he fills up, he'll take off again. So when he gets to 21,000 liters, he will take off again. So he takes off again, turns on his lights, put on his cover, and he's off to the flour mill again. So he'll keep doing that until you tell him to stop. So in order to tell him to stop, you just say, "Stop, driver," and he stops. So you're done with him, and now you just move him to wherever you gotta go. So you can just cancel that course, and my next demonstration is going to be on loading from a conveyor belt. So we'll do some potatoes, and this does it a little differently. Okay. So we're going to have to make our course here. Okay. Now this is a kind of a bad example because it is a tight area for the start point. So I gotta watch how I make the course. So I'm gonna see where I need potatoes at. So I know which one to bring it to. Potatoes here. Okay. Let me see, potatoes. Okay, we can go to the flour mill again. So we'll just make a course back to the flour mill. That's the nearest tip point I have. Okay. So with this one, we're going to start here underneath the conveyor, and you see he starts there. So what we have to do is when we start our recording, we're going to have to put a waypoint. Okay, so that way he stops there for a certain amount of time, and we got to kind of guess how long it will take from the fill up. So, but we set that when we come back. Okay. So now he's done. He'll take off. We can close this up. And we do the same as the first one. We just be careful around corners. So come out here. Make his turn. Now he's going to head off to the flour mill. And we're going to note here anyways, just because we're here, so we can see how it works. And then, but you don't have to stop on the tip point. You'll know that it's. You'll know to stop there. So we just continue back to our farm. You don't have to worry about it, the lines overlapping. It's got little, if you look closely, it's got little pyramids, and it shows the direction of that particular line. So this one we're going to come in from this direction. And we're going to follow our tire tracks right to our silo. And we're going to park it right here. That should be just about right. So we're going to stop here, and we're going to label this. We'll say potatoes to flour mill. Okay, hit the enter key. You're saved. Come over to your manage courses here. You look right down here, potatoes to flour mill. Hit the third one. Don't hit the last one, that's the trash can. That's to delete a course. So if you didn't want, see I didn't want this last one down here, I can just go ahead and hit the trash can. Now that course is gone. See? No more course. So to put this in the tutorial folder, I'll click it there. Scroll down to where it says tutorial here. And so it's highlighted, just hit this folder right there. Now you see I got 2 in there. Okay. Now we start right to left again. So there's nothing you have to worry about there. Okay, now we have a waypoint here, so we got to give it a time. If we put 0, it'll just sit there and not go unless you tell it to. So we're going to try I would say probably, I think that was about 20 seconds. So we'll let it go up for 20 seconds to see how that works. So it takes them 20 seconds to fill up. Okay? So everything's the same as before. I'll just leave everything the same. So nothing has changed. Okay? So here we'll go nearest waypoint. And then we'll go and we're going to change this to potatoes. With the conveyor, it don't really matter because it's loading whatever's underneath it. So, oops, miss it. So you don't have to worry about picking the right one, because it's going to load automatically the item. So we can go ahead and drive course now. So he's going to pause for 20 seconds, and you'll get a message up here, and you'll say the New Holland, and this is Courseplay number 1 vehicle, and he says waiting at the waypoint, or he says reached waiting point. And if you're in another vehicle, you can actually click on that, and he can continue. So it's enough time, he's filled up, and off he goes. And he'll perform his duty just like he did for the wheat. Now if you have just a two-wheeled trailer, turns usually work a little better. But since he's got the 3 pivots there, one at the hitch and one at the wheels, it's a little more exaggerated. But if you just use a regular tongue and trailer tipper, it won't be so bad going around the corners like that. He'll always find his way to the line. So you can see he's uncovered, slows down for the tip point, and now he unloads. Now we'll wait for him to go back and pick up another load. So you want to watch your course at least once to make sure it goes right. Sometimes the first time, second time will be okay. Maybe a third time, something might be off. So it's not a perfect system, but basically 95% of the time it is. You might get stuck in traffic. So if you have the traffic on using Courseplay, it's a little hairy. Because if you got traffic coming in both directions, and if he has a slowdown somewhere, he might get stuck between 2 cars. I've had that happen. So usually when I'm playing Courseplay, I usually turn off the traffic in your settings. So come to the start point here, and he'll wait at the waypoint, fill up again. So and to check your time, you can just count 1001, 1002 until you're done. I might have hit this one right at 20 seconds. Who knows? Alrighty. Well, that concludes our tutorial for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned some. And I do live streaming, game streaming on Twitch TV at Viper278, and it will be in my description down there. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them, and I'll try and answer you as soon as I can. And watch for more tutorials on the Courseplay coming up. Thank you for watching, and y'all have a good day. Thank you, and bye.